Hey everyone, and welcome back to FSI DFS. I am McKinley412, and today we're going to be breaking down the early slate on Draftkings. It's a small 4-game slate with no weather issues to worry about at the moment. But as always, just make sure you're keeping up to the minute with the weather always changing, especially when I do record these the night before, and just for any COVID-related news that might be cropping up. But we can just dive right into this here. Zach Wheeler right up at the top at 9.7K. Now, Wheeler, we have loved Wheeler here so far this season just because he provides such a phenomenal floor for us. He's a workhorse. He goes deep into games. He's not afraid to go like 110 pitches. He's got a 31% strikeout rate, which is great. You know, it's going over that 30% mark that we are looking for. And he's going up against Atlanta, which can be quite scary. But I do enjoy this matchup because of how much Atlanta has struggled against right-handed pitching since the start of May. So we're looking at just over a month's worth of data here. Atlanta as a team is only hitting 217 against right-handed pitching. That's compared to a 285 batting average against lefties. So nearly 70 points lower against right-handed pitching. And actually, they are the #1 strikeout team in the league in the past month against right-handed pitching. They're striking out at a 28% clip against this right-handed pitching as a team. So they're striking out more than any other team against this pitching end. Wheeler, he's a workhorse. We know that he can hit those double digits. You've seen his form the past 4 games. It's been incredible what he's been able to do. So Wheeler, top option clearly on the slate. I think the Atlanta bats, while on paper can be kind of scary, looking deeper into it, I don't think they're going to be as scary as they are. Peralta right before him, or right after him. Peralta has a 37% strikeout rate this season. #1 on the entire slate, highest on the slate by a long shot. You can see he's in some nice form here, but he is going up against Cincinnati in that small Cincinnati ballpark. A Cincinnati ballpark where the Reds score on average over 6 runs per game this season, which is just amazing that they've been able to keep this up so far into the season. Like I said, he strikes out a lot of guys. Cincinnati does not strike out a lot. They're kind of the opposite of Atlanta in that they strike out the fewest, or the second fewest, in the league against right-handed pitching. So they only have a 20% strikeout rate. So Peralta is probably not going to have a 10 to 12 strikeout rate, 10 to 12 strikeouts this game. Probably going to be more in that like 5 to 7 range if I had to guess. So I take Wheeler over Peralta here. I don't think he's a terrible play just because of that upside that he does have, but I just really don't like the matchup here. My second favorite pitcher on the slate, though, is going to be Urias here. Urias is going up against Pittsburgh, a Pittsburgh team that does not hit the ball well, especially as of late against left-handed pitching. Their WRC plus is at 79, which is near the bottom of the entire league. WRC plus, if you don't know, just kind of it's a metric that kind of takes everything into account. 100 is average, and everything below that is a percentage below average. So at 79 WRC plus, it means that Pittsburgh is 21% worse than your average team against left-handed pitching. So there's one knock against the Pittsburgh bats here and a plus for Urias. But also Urias's home road splits, and it's not just this season. This has been his entire career. He just pitches better away from Dodger Stadium, and not sure why, but it just always seems to happen here. Home road splits on the road. Teams are hitting only 177. They have a 177 batting average on the road, whereas at home for Urias and Dodger Stadium, he lets batters are hitting close to 270 against him. So we're talking a near full 100-point difference. It's pretty incredible. And like I said, this isn't just this season. It's been going on his whole career. So Urias, I think, is my second favorite option on the slate. I'd take him over Peralta, especially in cash. He's in fine form here. One little blip against San Francisco, but those San Francisco bats you can't compare them to the Pittsburgh bats that he's facing here. So below that, I'm not really too interested. Ian Anderson for Atlanta, his walk rate is kind of concerning, especially in this small slate. And he's not been in the best form. His salary had just collapsed though, and that's one thing that is kind of going for him here. When he was at 10-9, he just was unplayable. But 7-7, you're looking for around 18, 20 points, kind of like a floor. Can he hit that? Yeah, he can. Do I trust him to? Maybe not. I don't think salary is going to be an issue here. I think you can pay up for two of those top three pitchers, and you don't really need to go down to Anderson. Castillo for Cincinnati. Is he going to be chalk again? I hope. Who knows? For some reason, Castillo is just always chalk. He always has a higher ownership than I think he should. I think it's because of the past. But this season, it's just not happening for him. He has a sub 20% strikeout rate. He's in that small ballpark where he has an ERA close to 7. He's had 2 better starts of late, but still, those are his only 2 starts this season where he scored over 13 Draftkings points. It has been putrid for Castillo on the season. I will just continue to fade him. And we're actually going to be targeting him when we talk about the bat tier in a second. Everybody else, Sheffield, Keller, Detroit situation, don't even bother. Not interested. So turning towards the bats, my favorite team is going to be the Dodgers going up against Mitch Keller. Mitch Keller has a hard hit rate of close to 50%. Now, for something to classify as hard hit, it needs to have an exit velocity of over 95 miles per hour. So nearly half the balls that do get put into play by Keller are above that 95 mile an hour mark, which is great for hitters. Lefties are hitting over 300 against him on the season. They're actually at a 310 clip. So you're looking at guys like Muncy, make sure he's playing. He is day to day nursing an ankle injury. So guys like Muncy, Lux, he's a lefty. Bellinger at 4.6. Those are your 3 lefties that you're probably going to be looking at. But honestly, I don't see an issue playing the righties here either, especially with Keller being such a poor pitcher on this small slate. They're probably going to have the highest implied run total. They're probably going to be popular. But, if you need some cheap bats, which I don't really think you do, again, I don't think salary is an issue. We can go down to Pollock or Pujols here at the low 3 range. Another bat that I'm going to be looking at, and this is more for a GPP, and it's Milwaukee going up against Castillo. I mentioned Castillo. He's been popular this season. I just don't know why, because none of the numbers back it up. So I will be targeting against that chalk pitcher and going with Milwaukee here. Castillo, he's got even splits against lefties and righties. So they're both hitting close to 300 or over 300 against him on the season. So I don't mind either of the bats here, either side of the plate. But if I was to choose one, I'd go with the lefties. Guys like Yelich, guys like Narvaez, Vogelbach. I think that's a great core 3 if you were to play Milwaukee here. And another thing, if Castillo does struggle, which we know he can, if he gets pulled out of the game early, you're going to see a lot of that Cincinnati bullpen. Cincinnati bullpen that is ranked dead last in the league in ERA in the past month or so. So Milwaukee in a great spot here. And like I said, salary, it's not an issue at all on this slate. You can take the big 3 guys from Milwaukee, throw in Wheeler, throw in Urias, my 2 favorite, and you're still looking at close to 3.9 remaining for your remaining bats. Not an issue at all. So you could throw in some of those more expensive LA Dodger bats. Muncy, I don't know if he actually plays. We'll have to wait and see. Bellinger, throw him in here. You're still looking at $3K for your remaining guys. Say Muncy doesn't play. and you want to throw in a different Dodgers bats, say you just go down to Betts at 5-2. He's even cheaper. Now you're up to 3-1, 3-2 remaining. So I don't think salary is going to be an issue here. A third team that I think could be interesting is Detroit, actually. They're kind of a YOLO play. I know Megaroar's kind of been doing YOLO plays. Been doing them a little bit as well in the Discord chat. They've been going fairly well. I was high on Baltimore the day that they scored 18. I got Atlanta against Kershaw. So YOLO play for Thursday here is going to be Detroit. We'll see what they can do. Not guaranteeing they're going to do anything. That's why it's a YOLO play. But yeah, the Dodgers, number one team that I'm going to be targeting. You know, the Atlanta-Philadelphia game, I think it's going to have runs. More on the Philly side, obviously, just because Atlanta, they struggle against right-handed pitching and Wheeler. But I think runs are still going to happen. But still, small slate. Wheeler and Urias are my favorite two. Peralta, no issues. I just like Urias and Wheeler better. And then bats, Dodgers, Milwaukee as a GPP, Detroit, YOLO. And if you want to get different, just go with like Philadelphia or something, right? Because Anderson is in quite poor form. So good luck in your contest today. We will have a separate video out for the main slate later tonight. But as always, leave a comment down below, hit that thumbs up button. We appreciate everything that you guys have been giving us with the engagement. It really helps us in being able to provide these free videos for you. So good luck in your contest once again, and we'll see you in the next video.